Episode 270 of Stogie Geeks. I'm here ready to interview Jeff Poillot from Maya Selva Cigars. I'm going to repeat that. That's Maya Selva Cigars. If you haven't heard of them, we got some breaking news for you and some good stuff going. Jeff, how are you, sir?
Yes. Hello, how are you? Thank you for having me over.
I'm speaking to you, I'm assuming, from sunny Miami. Is that where your office is, or where?
We're located in, sunny Miami, and we're located in Hollywood.
Hollywood. I'm going to Pompano Beach tomorrow.
Perfect. We can get together to smoke a great cigar.
Yeah.
And obviously, a Maya Selva cigar.
Yeah, I'm going to Pompano Beach tomorrow, and next week, Stogie Geeks, I'm going to be remote from anywhere, Fort Lauderdale, Pompano Beach, or Miami area. So we're going to have to talk offline, and you can point me in the right direction, and maybe we can connect.
Absolutely.
Timing's actually just perfect. We're going down there for a little bit of business. I got some Stogie Geek stuff I got to take care of, and then a little bit of pleasure, and we're going to catch a baseball game, and I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Hey, perfect. I'm looking forward to smoke a cigar with you guys.
All right, that's going to be awesome.
Wonderful.
It's going to be awesome. So Maya Selva Cigars started 1995, cigar company, launched in France.
Yes.
You are in charge of the distribution functionality over in France.
Yes, I was in charge of part of the distribution in France,
Yep.
and now I'm taking over operations in the U.S.
Yep. You've been a cigar aficionado for 30 years. We're going to talk to you a little about that journey there. And you've been with Maya Selva for 6 years.
That's correct.
Right. So take us through your cigar journey, how you led to Maya Selva, and what's it been like for the past 6 years at Maya Selva, and then we'll get into the blends and functionality of the business.
Sure. Well, I started to smoke cigars by the age of 20. I was introduced to the cigar by my father. At the time, it was mostly Cuban cigars.
Okay.
So that's how I got my first experiences. I smoked Cuban cigars for, let's say, about 15 years. And then I got to discover Maya Selva cigars. And I thought they were great. And at the time, I was really enjoying them. I'm still enjoying them. And I'm not even smoking Cuban cigars anymore.
Yeah, it's I mean, we get email, joeh@stogiegeeks.com. We get email from the listeners, sporadically. We don't really talk a lot about Cubans, but they always come up and they're like, what do you think? And I'm like, you can always tell when you've gotten your hands on a real Cuban. Very good, but they're not, to me, they don't have that spiciness to them. Some of them I've had can be spicy for sure. But now with the, here in the States, that it's taboo to get Cuban, there's an embargo and all that stuff. So it's not like when you're in France, you can just, walk into a cigar shop and get a Cuban.
Something in France, the market used to be, somewhere between 80% Cubans and 20% for any other brands. It's not like this anymore. We're probably up to 45 against 55%.
Yep.
We have so many great cigars out there coming from Honduras and Nicaragua. It's just amazing.
Yeah, it really is amazing, and I think a lot of the spicy profile, maybe with the bigger ring gauges that consumers tend to gravitate to, with the spicy profile, they kind of the Nicaraguan definitely seems to be taking a huge chunk out of the Dominican market share for sure, and a lot of the cigars that I give a slightly higher rating to tend that the profile that gravitates towards me is that Nicaraguan Honduran blend.
Way to go.
So you get to Maya Selva. Take us through to how the
Sorry.
the 6 years went.
Well, basically, I'm at an age or when if you don't do something you really care for
Mm-hmm.
at my age, it will never happen again.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Yep.
So I decided to get rid of everything I was doing, and I came up to Maya and told her, well, this is what I want to be doing, working for you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was kind enough to give me a chance, and here I am 6 years later, taking over the U.S.
Nice. Nice. So recently, you had just taken over the U.S. position.
Absolutely.
What's your game plan for penetration in the marketplace for that?
Well, the penetration has to come first in Florida. You might have the best cigars in the world. If nobody has ever heard of you, you're not going anywhere. So my first goal is to have Maya Selva Cigars well known in Florida. That's a huge state for cigar smokers.
Yes. Yeah.
And then we'll go on and spread over the U.S. But first thing first.
Yeah. Yeah. I can tell you that here in the Northeast, a lot of the reps who we've either interviewed on the show or who we see on the street all the time, they spend a lot of time in New Hampshire and they spend a lot of time in Rhode Island, especially when it comes for market penetration. Some of the reps have expressed that, if they're a Northeast rep, that territory obviously goes from Maine through New Jersey, so to speak, and they get quite a bit of cigars from the state of Rhode Island, our little state, for sure. We have 42 shops in a non-traffic 45-minute area, so it's very highly concentrated with that. So something to think about. What if you're trying to get a lay of the land there, and then there's a lot of nice shops that do maybe a slightly bigger volume than a Rhode Island shop, but up in New Hampshire is some pretty good volume as well.
That's beautiful, I'm sure. Well, but let's talk about Florida.
Okay.
I was really surprised because here you drive about 4 miles and you come across a great shop. It's just amazing. It's paradise for cigars. Plus, the first thing that struck me when I got here, obviously I went to the nearest cigar shop, and for me it was heaven and hell.
Sure. Okay.
Heaven because I got in the shop, and that's amazing how many cigars you guys have around. In France, the shops are really small, and they do not carry a lot of brands. And it's hell too, because being in there, I don't know where to start. It's just amazing. There are so many choices.
Right.
So obviously for us, it's going to be a great challenge. We've done great in Europe. We're still growing. We're booming in Asia. So there's no reason why we shouldn't be successful in the U.S. And that's when I come in.
Right. What are you going to do? This is a business question. What's it? So have you had experience with visiting U.S.-based, Florida-based shops yet?
Of course.
Okay. So what's it? Okay. So
the basis you have to start with. Visit people, get to understand who's doing what, how, and then you move on.
Right. So what's it like? You walk into a shop in France and they've heard of you. Because you have brand recognition, you have validity in the marketplace. There's a bunch of buzz around the product, so they've heard of you, and they're like, you might not fit on the shelf because we're smaller, or we're gonna go with 3 facings instead of a classic 5 shelf facing. And then you walk into the United States, and they're like, who? Who are you?
Well, that's the great challenge.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. You get in, nobody knows you. You get to talk about your cigars, uh, show how passionate you are, and well, obviously try to have them try your cigars, because once again, you might have the best cigars. If nobody has ever heard of them or never tried them, you're not going anywhere.
Right, right. And I also think industry wide here in the States, you got to get them rated by some of the platforms that are out there.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
once it's rated, it just seems to give you a bunch of validity within that marketplace
Absolutely.
for sure. I do know that from my experience in owning a cigar shop here in the province metro years ago, and from working in a cigar shop as well, you can almost predict it when it comes out in the publications that people are going to be swinging in the shops and asking
Well,
for it.
sorry,
Nope, go ahead.
already some publications, and we have great ratings, for example, from Cigar Journal,
Okay.
which is international. So, for example, our natural Florida Selva was pretty much rated 95, which is not bad to me.
No,
So
no.
we're getting there. We're getting there. We're slowly but surely getting there.
Absolutely. Take me through some of the blends. Well, what are your favorite sticks in the line?
Oh, well, my favorite stick is right here.
Okay.
This is what we call the Tempo.
Okay.
It's a 6x60 from the Natural Collection. It's just delightful. You'll be more on the cedar side, and little spices that makes it incredibly good.
Awesome.
It's on the natural collection from Florida Selva. Of course, I don't know if you can see really well, but we have also the Maduro collection, and this is a 6x62 because I thought you would see it better. You'll be more on the roasted coffee and caramel side. Really exciting too.
So that classic facing, right? The first
Yes.
one,
Yeah.
the one,
And look,
the
look
one
at
that.
it. Look at it. The label is really cool. I just realized that the label is really cool. It looks like Liberty Statute, but only for cigars.
There you go. I like it.
That's it. I just realized that. It's wonderful. Just came across my mind. Like,
There you go. Yeah.
This is cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So the wrapper is a Connecticut from Talanga, correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So you have Connecticut from Talanga. Your binder is a Habano.
Habano Jamastran. I'm sorry, I have to look it up too because I don't remember everything.
That's okay. It's it can get pretty complex.
Like just like you guys go with sizes, we never use sizes in France.
Really?
We would not be saying it's a 6x60. We would say, oh, it's a Robusto. Oh, it's a double Corona. Oh, it's a Corona. But we don't go by sizes. So I still have to find my way in there.
Yeah, yeah. Back the ring gauge kind of switched, I think, at the same time that other manufacturers were saying, oh, our Toro is this size, and it wasn't a traditional size of a Toro, or our Robusto is this size. So then we just got used to just doing the ring gauges.
Sure.
That's just
Sure.
you might have to change that. Well, we have a Toro and it's offered in this side, over there. And then
Well, I call this one a double Toro.
yeah, the double.
It's even a little more than a double Toro.
So with the classic profile, what are some of the elements you're going to get? I know you had touched upon it, and then you switched to the other cigar. Well, what's the profile of the cigar? Both of them.
What do you mean by profile?
Like it's complex. It's going to give you a sweetness, or
It's a medium cigar, It's really natural, so you're gonna have a feeling of that the cigar is light but still fulfilling.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know really how to express it in English, but it's an extremely well balanced cigar.
You can say it. You can.
This way.
What other language are you going to say it in? France? French? You can say it in French for us, for our French-speaking listeners. Sure, absolutely. Yeah, and then on the Maduro side, you had started with that. It's going to be obviously a little bit stronger.
Well, of course, it's going to be stronger, and will be on the roasted coffee and caramel side.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that has, even though it's a Maduro, it has a lot of roundness to it, which is really surprising.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I'm looking forward to getting my hands on some of these cigars next week.
Well, we'll be smoking cigars next week when you come down. So
yes.
Perfect.
Yep. I'll definitely look you up and catch up with you. I'll let you know where I am. I know I'm staying in Pompano Beach, and Miami's 40 minutes outside of that with no traffic. And you're located in Miami, or what town?
No, we're located in Hollywood.
Hollywood,
So
I got
really
it.
close to you. So
yep.
Just look it up on the internet, mayaselvacigars.com, and we're right there on Harris Street in Hollywood.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm looking forward to catching up with that. Anything new coming out within the next year, or?
Well, we just released 3 things.
Okay.
First, you saw the Maduro line, and we came up with our first box pressed cigar.
Okay.
Which is called the Grand Press.
It's called
it's 6x52, so a little less than the Tempo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the first thing. And then in the Kumpai collection, meaning the Nicaragua cigars, we came up with this baby, which is Kumpai Maduro. Same principle. It has a little more intensity and power than the classical Kumpai collection.
Mm-hmm.
And this baby.
Okay.
This is the 20th anniversary collection for the Flor de Selva, and let me show you.
Yes. Do you have the blend on that too?
Here we go. Well, the major difference is that you have an Habano wrapper.
Okay.
That changes everything on the classical collection. Once again, you get more intensity and more aromas with those.
Yeah.
And the beauty is that they come in boxes of 10, which is not the case for the classical collection.
Mm-hmm.
Only the Grand Presse in the Maduro collection also comes in boxes of 10.
Mm-hmm. Are you launching that stuff, as they say, across the pond over in France, or is that?
We have the Grand Presse already in the U.S. We have this collection too, and we just came out with the Kumpai Maduro, the one I showed you from Nicaragua.
Mm-hmm. But are they available in France as well, or are you just keeping those exclusive to the United States?
They're available. Well, the Grand Presse, I'm not sure we released it in France yet.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, yes. For
Yep.
the rest, you can find the same cigars.
Yeah.
Not the same sizes. Here, we don't get the whole collection here.
Okay.
We only have a few sizes compared to Europe.
Okay. Yeah. What are the popular sizes over in Europe?
The Robusto.
Yeah.
So let me double check. It's a 4 3/4 by 50. If I'm correct.
It's a classic Robusto size, right? Absolutely. You've been to IPCPR?
Not yet.
Oh, yeah. Are you looking to go there in this year, next year?
I think it's going to be for next year. I will have to pass on for this year.
Yeah.
I'll be too tied up. So
yeah. Yeah, it seems
Once
you know.
again, first thing first, and then we'll move on.
Yeah,
IPCPR 2019, looking forward to it.
yeah. I think where you are currently with distribution, that might be a good move for you as well, especially if you got stuff booked and in there, because sometimes some of the smaller vendors might not get looked upon until 2-3 years into IPCPR. And so, having
Sure.
that being said, if you're going for your market penetration, trying to get up the East Coast and trying to do that there, that would be a good business methodology for sure to focus on that. It's a lot better to be on the show floor and say, hey, we're in 100 shops in the U.S. and so X amount of shops in within other countries than we're in 10 or whatever it is
Yeah,
that.
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It'll give you guys a leg up in that for sure. It's definitely a
Sure.
good time. A lot of people go. It's a virtual who's who of the industry, and you get to meet a lot of nice contacts as well for sure.
Well, I already did, so this is just great. I'm enjoying it.
It's bonus. Is this a bonus?
Really, it's a
Is
real challenge.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful business to be in.
So Maya Salva, a little bit of brand and marketing. You have appeared in publications, but is this your first podcast?
Yes, it is. God, it's wonderful, and that's why I'm a little tense and nervous because
No.
this is my first interview in the U.S. Plus, it is with great guys that are doing a tremendous job for the industry.
Yeah.
So-
We have a lot of fun on this show. We definitely got a lot of cool stuff happening for 2018, and definitely some extra stuff planned for end of 2018, 2019. I've been a co-host here since January of 2017, but the show's been on for over 7 years. So obviously,
Congratulations.
yeah. Paul and the current staff do a phenomenal job, and the past staff co-host and stuff like that did a good job. I mean, we're at episode 270, and like I said,
Tells it all.
it's growing, and it gives us a chance. I love the opportunities to meet with companies, cigar brands that have been around for 100+ years, and then it's also really neat to see all of the new guys and gals come on into the industry and really launch their product for sure. Definitely.
Sure.
Definitely.
Wonderful.
Question: what's the biggest challenge? What are some of the biggest challenges you have within your position over at Maya Salva?
Well, as I said before, the biggest challenges are to get to be renowned among aficionados.
Yep.
This is the first one. The second one is to be in most of the tobacco shops. And the third one is to get recognition all over the country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's going to take time and dedication.
Yeah, it does. But and sometimes a little bit of wind at your back helps as well. It's like if you're sailing. And it'll come. It will definitely come. It's all about when you're on the road. You got to build those relationships and let the product speak for itself. And if they like it, and the retailer gets behind it, it's a bonus for you. For sure. Some businesses do a better job of getting behind the product than others. Some, are just order takers and that stuff. You'll figure that out very quickly.
Well, you have to find a good balance. Yeah, I will figure it out as we move on in the country.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What advice would you give for someone who wants to enter the industry?
Well,
Tough one, huh? Here they
tough
come.
one. No, it's not. It's not a tough one because I just went through it.
Okay.
Good luck. There are so many guys out there. It's gonna take a lot of time, a lot of dedication, and I'm gonna have fun,
Sure.
no matter what. But once again, it's gonna be really rough.
Okay. I just have two more questions. Right? Two more
Sure,
questions.
please.
What knowing what you've known within the industry for your past six years experience, what would you do
Sure.
differently?
What would?
What would you do differently if you had a chance to do anything differently?
Well, I wouldn't change a thing. I wouldn't change a thing. Here I am.
There you
It's
go.
wonderful.
Woo!
When you have a new challenge, it's wonderful. I'm getting all excited about it. Once again, it's fairly new. I have been here for what? A couple months.
Yeah.
So I have to adjust.
Yep.
I have to make sure things are going smoothly, and this is really exciting.
I like it. I like it. That would be my answer as well. Like I've gone through my career and I've given it the best that I could give it at that particular time with the resources that I have, and here I am. You know. Okay. This one's
Way to
very this one's very personal. Okay. If you could be a superhero, who would you be?
Good question.
You can take some time and enjoy the cigar. We do
Well,
all.
I'm going to give you a simple one. Well, Superman. I mean,
Okay.
Superman. In the European mind, Superman outstands everybody.
Okay. Is it because
So I'll be Superman.
is it because so Superman can be Batman, right? According to
Yeah, it could be too.
there you go. So, any particular superpowers other than flying around that you like? Because flying around would be easy with traffic for sure. But what do you think?
Yeah, that's a tricky question because
Like, what would you if you woke up in 5 minutes from now? We're gonna get off the interview and you're Superman. What would be your first task?
first task.
Yeah, what would you do? Grab a cup of coffee. I mean, what would?
Well, get rid of all those cigar guys that are around and make sure we obtain all the shells for ourselves.
I like
How's
it.
that?
I like it. Jeff, a man on a mission. Always sticking close to the mission, for sure. I will give you a call offline in the beginning of next week, and I'll let you know where we can connect for sure.
Okay. Do we still have a few seconds?
Oh yeah, we're still live.
Okay.
Go for it.
Hey, I'd like to take a minute to say thank you to our great global team. I mean, without them, I wouldn't be here. So once again, thank you guys. You're doing a tremendous job.
Yes, absolutely, and good luck with the mission of the company for sure. And circle back with us maybe in the fall. We'll get you on for another interview and we'll check up on your progress.
Okay, anytime. Thank you again. You're doing a tremendous job.
Alrighty. Don't hang up, Jeff. Don't hang up.
No, I'm hanging up.
This has been episode 270 of Stogie Geeks. Check out Maya Selva Cigars. Throw them into Google. Check them out. Get on there. Facebook and all of the social media. We'll see you next week. I'll see you from sunny Florida next week.